Okay. Welcome everyone. Also to our guests online, thank you for joining us despite it being, a Thursday night. So we are all here gathered, at this event to develop a deeper understanding of our fellow refugee friends' struggles and interact and network with like-minded people. So for tonight's panel discussion, we will discuss the topic titled "The Power of the Human Spirit." We are humbled and honored to have three amazing speakers. Okay, first we have Aline Sarah, the co-founder of Natakalam. Natakalam is an award-winning social enterprise that hires displaced persons and their host communities as online tutors, teachers, and translators. Today, Natakalam has distributed more than $1.7 million in self-earned income to refugees and their host communities, connecting them to more than 12,000 learners and clients worldwide. Next, we have Sophia. Sofia is in her early 20s and originally comes from Kharkiv, Ukraine. When the Russians invaded her city, she fled the country with a younger sister, while the rest of the family still remains in Ukraine. Previously, Sofia worked as a private teacher of Russian, English, and Ukrainian languages, but she lost her job when the war broke out and everything came to a stop. She joined Natakalam as a Ukrainian and Russian language partner in March and is currently staying in Czech Republic. Finally, we have Marianela Nunes Patino. Marianela is in her early 60s and is originally from Venezuela. She was living in Merida, Venezuela, and owned an adventure tourism agency. But due to political, violence and extreme inflation, she gave up her business in order to leave the country and go to San Jose, Costa Rica. She has since returned to Venezuela, but is forced to live in hiding. She loves to meet people from around the world and learn about their cultures, especially their cuisine. Marinella is also an ecologist and a passionate recycler. So, but first, before we begin, I want to ask everyone, how are we doing tonight? Thank you for joining us. And I know it's for Marinella, it's 7 a.m. there. Such an effort to join us. So how is everyone doing? Great. Great. Marianela, how are you doing?
Hello, good morning. Because here I wake up before 6 a.m. I was too anxious. I was afraid to lost the meeting, but I am okay. I am okay. I am so happy to be here, to meet you, and to share with you my experience or things about Venezuela. Whatever you want to know, I am here to answer it.
Thank you, Marianela. How are you doing, Sophia?
Pretty good because it's 1 p.m. in Czech Republic. So I came here for my Czech class. So always okay. And really, I'm so excited to be here because I can see so many people. So really, always okay.
Good to hear. Good to hear. How about Aline?
I am also one of the lucky ones who's in Europe, so it's a decent time for me. So I'm good. I haven't had lunch yet, so I'm looking forward to that in a couple of hours, but very happy to be here with you all and to, of course, see Sofia and Marianela again, and to also be with the Brain Juice community that we've worked with in the past. So thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming on board. We are so glad you are here with us. All right. So, and I'm also glad to see that people online are also chatting in the chat box saying that they're doing good, and glad. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah. Okay. So without further ado, let's get into the discussion. Yeah. Okay. So perhaps the first question I would direct to Aline. Social entrepreneurship is already not an easy task, not an easy path, and most social entrepreneurs struggle to make ends meet. So what was it like for Natakalam during the pandemic?
Thank you for that question. So I would say, before delving into COVID in general, as you mentioned, running a social enterprise is this constant tightrope balance between your impact and your sustainability and eventual profitability. And every step of the way, as the founder and CEO, we have to think, what is best to grow the organization, but what is also going to go towards our deepest impact to our incredible community of tutors and translators like Sofia and Marianela. So I think, that's the added layer when your enterprise is a social enterprise. Now, during COVID, it's quite interesting. نتكلم actually grew even more during COVID because we are inherently an online organization. And all of a sudden, everyone was stuck at home and everyone was like, oh, well, what am I going to do with my time? Why not learn a language? And why not actually do that while supporting refugees or individuals who've been forced to flee their homes? So during COVID, actually, one of our programmings, which is the language learning, strongly grew. We tripled in the number of users signing up to Natakalam. And so that was really exciting. Marianela was part of that moment, so she might be able to speak about that. But of course, for many online organizations, after COVID ended, everyone was also ready to kind of go back into the world and step away from the online realm. So we actually had this really nice COVID bump, as we like to call it, from our language learning perspective. So that was actually exciting. And it was also an acceleration of our impact because even, Marianela can speak to it. Everyone was back home and locked in. And for displaced people who are already far from their home, who've watched their homeland go into violence and conflict, the isolation was exacerbated. And so being able to maintain their students was actually very impactful from the psychosocial perspective as well. And that's why we really consider Natakallam such a multifolded type of organization that the first and basic goal is to provide income to our incredible community of tutors and translators, but it's also to provide a family and human support and human connection, which almost surpasses the financial aspect sometimes. So I would say it is a constant battle to run a social enterprise. COVID was actually a very positive moment because of the fact that we are online as an inherent type aspect of our work. Following the end of COVID, or as we kind of exit COVID, most of the world, we're seeing kind of a bit of a loss of traction on our online classes. So, but we hope to kind of rekindle that because I think people will regain that balance between offline and online. So that's my quick answer to your question.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I guess, that gives a lot of insight on how, how Natakalam actually, impacted lives online and offline. Okay, while we're still on the topic of business, right, Marianela also ran a business and hers was a thriving travel business back then, in which eventually she gave it up due to the situation in Venezuela. Many of us are under the impression that Venezuela and Ukraine crisis is recent. So maybe you can share your lived experiences and also the lessons that you've learned, Marianela. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. The crisis in Venezuela is not new. It's not 5 years or 4 years ago. It's more than 20 years ago. Slowly, but continues. As the Italian people says, piano, piano, you go really far when you go slow. And Venezuela, I came back. I needed to come back, but it's better if you have dollars. If you don't have dollars, it's not a country to live. Now, people think the situation is better, but I don't think so. It's worse each day.
Okay. So maybe you can share what are some values that you've learned and that you live by today, from the crisis that happened.
See, the values, of course, always family is the first. I have to say that my family, you want to be with your family, you miss your family, but also the comfortable life that you had in your country. Your own apartment, your car, everything you have in your life. And the people is different. Costa Rica is a Hispanic country, but it's totally different, things totally different. And to feel that you are not really, really welcome in other place. I had many things against me, like I was a woman, I wasn't a young person, I was an immigrant, many things that the people don't tell you in your face, but you know that is happening. The values I have is, of course, the family is all. Your country is the best country in the world with their problems and anything. I am now in Venezuela and I am leaving again in a week. I will go to live in Argentina because I can't be here. But the way that the people is totally different. We are in our way, no better, nor worst, but it's our way to do the things.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
And I forgot to say that you never know what do you have till you lost it. Okay?
Yeah, most definitely. You won't ever know what you lost until you lost it. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, just now earlier on, Aline mentioned about the COVID bump. Marianela, would you be able to share about your experience on that?
My experience was great. First, because I love to talk. I love to meet people, new people, but I am a mom also. I mean the character, no? And people had a lot of problems. People talked with me like if I was a psychologist or something like that. I talk with people about the problems that wherever they wanted to talk with me, I can listen. I like to talk, but I can listen too. And this experience was really, really good. I had students for 10 classes and just to practice and they leave. But other students are still with me more than 3 years. I feel they are my friends. Really. They are afraid about me, about what I am doing, my trip, about everything. I have students that started without zero Spanish and they are talking with me like I am talking with you now in English. Not perfect, of course, but they can talk with me. But my experience really was great. Both sides. I always say Nata Kalan was an angel to me when I needed. Almost 4 or 5 years ago, I don't remember. And we are an angel for other people too. People that need to work and people that need to talk. Not only learn Spanish, but to talk with somebody. It was great, really.
That's great to hear. Thank you, Marianela. So, okay, while we're on the topic of difficulty, perhaps the next question, I would have it directed to Sophia. So, Sophia, you fled Ukraine for Czech Republic with your sister, and it must be really difficult, to leave your friends, your family behind. How did you overcome the challenges then?
To tell the truth, it's a huge question because it was really hard. I left my country because I haven't ever had a war in my life, so that's why everything was for the first time. And I totally understood because my sister was 15, she's still 15, and I'm still 20. And when you understand that you can hear bombs and rockets and so on, and you're standing at the railway station and you need to get on the train and leave your country, leave your parents, and you don't know if they are alive in a few minutes, in a few hours. So yeah, I understood. I am an elder sister, and I understood I need to come over this. And firstly, I need to understand I have a little sister and I need to take care of her. And then, of course, it was a long trip. But firstly, I need okay, yeah, this happened. But just please, not now. Don't cry. Don't be angry with your sister because she's 15 and so on. Because this situation is really dangerous, and for the first time, of course. So just maybe my personality. So and I understood that. Yeah, and then of course I cried. I felt like, oh my God, what should I do? Because it's a new country for me. And then maybe I Marianela said, I found an angel, not a column, and I remember how it helped me really, really a lot. Firstly, and then of course the situation was getting better and better.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad to hear. That was a really, heavy responsibility for you, Sophia. And I can't imagine what you went through. Actually, I have a question from Simply. She actually asked, "How are you feeling today, Sophia? And how are you coping with, how are you feeling right now?"
Pretty good, because I would say my life is stable at this moment, because I know that I have a flat where I'm living right now, because I remember at the beginning, I was able to have something to do just for one day, and that's all. But now I understand I am already a student of a Czech university. So yeah, I passed the exam of English. So yeah, awesome, great. I have a place where to live, and I know some Czech people. I'm learning Czech, and now is more or less stable for me. And I know that my parents are in safe, my sister is in safe. So like much better than 3 or 4 months ago.
I'm glad to hear that you're doing way better right now. Yeah, and even you starting to and having to enroll into a university for you, that's like a good start for you. And learning the Czech language, that must be really fun. Is it with Natakalam also?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
Are you also learning the Czech language with Natakalam?
No, because I'm attending a course, this course of Czech from Charles University. So I'm a student of Charles University, and they provided us this course with a scholarship. Oh my God, yeah, it was unexpectedly. So yeah, why not? And I really like it, and their attitude to us, and because they understand which station we have right now. So unfortunately, but sorry.
Glad to hear that you're already getting your scholarship. Congratulations. Okay,
Yes,
so maybe
so
this
I can't believe even.
Okay, maybe the next question will be directed to all three of you. Maybe we can start with Aline first. What keeps you going, and what are your aspirations for the future?
Thank you for that question. I think, what keeps you going, what keeps me going is Sofia, Marianela, and all of our community. And when they tell us, how much these opportunities are helpful to them, we also get feedback from our students about how much they love their tutors and how much they love their sessions. So I think, that is what keeps us going, really, because it is so complicated. And, you sometimes wonder, really, like when I was presenting in Atakalam a year ago, I said the number of displaced people was, around 80 million, right? And then boom, overnight, Ukraine happens, a couple of other conflicts around the world, climate crises, and now we're at 100 million displaced people. 100 million people who are forced to flee their homes, right? That's like, I think the 14th largest country in the world, if it was a country. So, it's hard to also not become a bit hopeless sometimes, right? But for anyone trying to change the world, I think you have to just go start small, and also just focus on the small wins, and how they can have ripple effects to hopefully then combat a bit of the bigger battles.
Wise words, wise words. Thank you so much, Aline. Maybe maybe we can how about Marianela? Okay, what keeps you going? What are your aspirations for the future? Sorry, you're muted.
Can you hear me? Because I see your faces that don't move or something. Okay. The aspirations for me are very simple, okay? I just want to go to Argentina now because I receive refugee status and everything, help and everything in Costa Rica, but I didn't feel that was the place where I wanted to live. I want to live in other place. It can be Venezuela. I am here almost hiding. I don't go any place. I came here just to have my new passport because I needed a new one. So what I expect in the future is to live in a nice place, in a nice city where I can go out and walk and work and see some of my family. My family is spread everywhere, not in one place. I have family in Chile, in Argentina, in Ecuador, in United States. I have a sister and nephews and nieces in Trinidad and Tobago, in many places. My family never, or I suppose that never we are going to be together in the same place. So the only I want is continue working to have a job and live in a nice place. This is I want now, in this moment in my life. I am not going to study in the university, something I am going to learn new things like I will learn to dance tango, for example. I will learn many things that I can from Argentina. I hope I have the opportunity to have a good life because the last 5 years hasn't been really, really good, but I have hopes for the future.
Thank you for sharing, Marianela. So, and finally, what about Sophia? What are your aspirations?
Inspiration and plans for the future. Maybe, as you've noticed, I'm an extrovert and I like communicating to people also. And my specialization is connected with translation and teaching. So I already have a bachelor degree in Ukraine. And I want to have another bachelor degree, and my specialization is languages and translation and teaching. So I want to continue teaching. Maybe I want to be an interpreter. So maybe a simultaneous interpreter. It's hard. I know it's hard. It's pretty hard, but I will do my best. And inspirations, just don't how to say even look back, because yeah, this happened, but I'm still young. I hope so, and I have a lot of opportunities. And I can go to, for example, to university. I can find a job that is connected with teaching or translating. So I don't think it's a problem because we have the internet. So that's why this motivates me to do my best and continue my teaching, because in my opinion, we all should learn something new during our life, because we should be, I would say, relevant for any society. So it's our life. So that's my point.
Okay,
So,
you
sorry.
mentioned.
I want to say something to my partner, Sofia.
Okay, sure.
You can do anything you want in your life, anything, because you are a woman. And women, we can do everything. We can do all. I did already that you want to do. I studied in the university. I moved my own and alone, without sister, without nothing, with 60 years old. You can do anything. You can live wherever you want. Enjoy your life, okay?
Yeah, okay, thank you a lot. I'm trying to do it right now.
Okay, thank you for the hopeful words, Marianela. Okay, so just now, I would like to touch on how Sophia mentioned that she do hopes to continue teaching. So maybe, Sophia, in your opinion, what makes a great educator, and how do you live out these values, while teaching your students?
Also a great question. And to tell the truth, I'm trying to listen to my students, and I have some golden rules. So the first rule is don't interrupt your students, because first of all, it's not polite, and you should listen up to them fully, because for example, it's a new language for them. And actually I have the same situation, because I'm learning a new language, and I noticed, because we have several teachers, and sometimes they don't like properly. They don't listen to me, and for example, they don't want to listen to me, and it's like, you're a teacher, please respect me, because we are equal. And you should listen to me, I should listen to you. And sometimes, I don't know, just I notice it sometimes. Then another rule, always I should think that they are personalities, and sometimes they need more time to think, they need more explanation, more time, or another way of getting new information. So I suppose I'm a patient person, because I understand if I were them, and if I saw my teacher is a little bit angry, oh my God, you don't understand something. So it's a question already. So why? It's your, I would say, occupation and profession, and you chose it, you're not satisfied, it's your problem. So in a nutshell, you should feel even your students, their aims, and when you need to continue talking, or when you should be in silent. So of course you should feel them. So that's all what I wanted to tell you.
Wise words, wise words. Thank you, Sophia. So, okay, aside from listening and being, compassionate with your students, Marianela, do you have any others to add on? What makes a great educator? Oh no, you're muted again.
I don't know what happened. Sorry. Many things, I think. I have values. I think I have a good values that my parents touch me, because they are very good. To listen my students, there are no bad answers. It's their opinion. Sometimes I have students, my students maybe are older than from Sofia. They want to talk about politics or Donald Trump or wherever. I always listen. I keep my own opinions, always. I don't discuss with them or something. And of course, I love to teach Spanish. This is something that I really enjoy. All people have different thoughts or ways to how to act. I have to respect them. I have students from Korea, from Australia, from United States, from England, and we are different. We are different, totally different. And the things I think are good, maybe they are not good for other person. It's the first time I wrote an answer only for this question. I wrote in English, I have beside, because I wanted to explain well, properly what I think. And I prepare myself every day and enjoy the classes.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing, Marianela. Okay, now we are actually left with about 15 minutes with this segment, and I'm very sure the audience, the online audience, has loads of questions to ask the speakers now. They have learned about a thing or two about them. So now for the Q&A segment, I will be inviting Judith, who is my colleague based in the Philippines. Hi, Judith, to join in the conversation. Judith, where are you?
Hi everyone at the event, at the in-person event, and hi everyone. I also to the online participants. So it was great hearing from the stories, even me as part of the BG team, I feel like I also needed to hear the stories. Personally, I'm feeling kind of hopeful tonight also through your stories, especially when Aline mentioned about the COVID bump, and also Sophia saying how what stuck to me about what Sophia said was when she said we should all be relevant to every country. Because I had never had that thought, and now that's like a new thing that I feel like I would carry from now on. Anyway, so we're opening the floor to questions. So if for the live audience, you may reach out to anyone there for the mic if you need to ask questions. And for the people joining us online, if you have questions, we send in a link, or if you're more comfortable sharing, just turn our camera on and ask the question to anyone from the panel. For to kick it off, like I just want to ask, I know that you've shared like the challenges, but like people are not, like humans are not exactly the nicest features. Like what would be some of the most challenging thing that you've received, like, or went through from the work that you do? Like Aline, would you have something, like, do you think there like a very prominent experience that you feel like, oh, this is very
This question is for Sophia, for me.
or anyone could answer actually. If you want.
I had many challenges, but for my age, first, people doesn't want to have an employee with 60 years old, for example. And the second I had against me was I was a woman. Also, I was an immigrant. And also because I am from Venezuela. You know that in all countries that happen, in United States, in Germany, for example, there was a time that they didn't want to have people from Polonia there, for Poland. And it's the same, people from United States, not all people. I mean, some people, they don't want people from Mexico. You know, that happened the same with people from Venezuela, because there are a lot of people that leave to Costa Rica. And the other thing was the transportation was good, but the city wasn't nice as I expect. The city, the country, very nice, but not the city. But the things against, I think, was this I told you: woman, age, immigrant, and Venezuelan.
Okay, can I continue?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Did I get your question correctly? Like challenges that I got? Okay, awesome. Thanks. Again, I wouldn't say that it was challenging. Yeah, even if we like escaped. Maybe the most one was leaving from Kharkiv. We were trying to get on the train in our city. Maybe you have heard about this, Kharkiv or Kharkov. It depends which language. And 40 kilometers from the Russian border. And maybe it was the hardest one, because there we saw our people, like, I would say our people with guns, weapons, and so on. And they were screaming, they were yelling at us, because everyone wanted to leave Kharkiv. So it's not like Lviv, you know, Lviv is so far away, but not Kharkiv. And I remember that situation. I would say I am not stressful at all. I am a strong person, just 100%. I understand it. But even me, like, okay, I don't care about me, but my sister, she's 15, and it was challenging when she was standing already, I would say, on the train, and I was standing on the platform, and I was like yelling at those people with guns. Yeah, I'm crazy. She's my sister. She's only 15. She's not an adult. Please, please, I want to be with her. And yeah, that moment was like in slow-mo. But yeah, maybe it was the hardest challenge for me. And then we went to leave. Then also it was another challenge to cross the border between Ukraine and Poland. And then just, I remember in the Czech Republic, I wouldn't say I was so stressful. Yeah, maybe, but I have been abroad a lot of times in my life, and even by myself when I was 18 even. So I wasn't scared because I know a little bit English, and I was able to communicate with others to ask something. And Czech, like, it's a little bit similar to Ukrainian. I also know Ukrainian, yeah. So that's why it was like almost smooth for me. And maybe the hardest challenge was leaving our country, and that's all, because everyone wanted to leave Ukraine due to the war. And we have, I would say, rush hour in March, like at the beginning of March, and we left our country at the beginning of March. So yeah, we were lucky enough. So that's why these are our challenges. Like maybe my own challenges, not like for my sister, because she's still young.
Thanks for sharing that. We have a question sent in from Sim Yui. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I'm so sorry if it's not. But are you here? Are you hearing? Like, there. Anyway, you can, his or her question is, how can we improve our mental health in difficult times?
How can I what?
How can you improve our mental health in difficult times?
Okay, I'm not a psychologist and I'm not a coach of something, but I suppose you, firstly, at the beginning, you should already have a good mental shape, because like 1 year ago I finished my therapy, so my personality became stronger and I'm not shy. And I would say if you have a strong how to say mood, even, you're lucky enough. But you cannot like this have and improve your mental health. Of course, you should work on it, and first of all, tell somebody, you should tell somebody your problem. And maybe you of course, if you trust this person or these people, because it's really important. People are social beings. Like I like saying it, because people are social beings and they need, anyway, even you, if you're an introvert, you need to share your feelings, and bad, positive, it doesn't matter. And maybe if you can't handle it by yourself, you should tell this thing to this person, and maybe they can advise you something. And of course, if you understand, by the way, it is the first step to for your recovering, I would say. If you realize that you want to improve your mental health, it's already awesome, because when a person doesn't want to realize it, it's already a problem. It's a huge problem. And I would say like 50% left to become like stronger. And of course, you should do your best. And for the first step is realizing this. I don't know if I answered this question, because I'm not a psychologist and I don't have a license. I'm sorry.
Thanks. No problem. Thanks for that answer. I guess I hope Sim got his answer. We're transferring. I'm passing on the question to the live audience. Dizzy is there with the mic. So if anyone has any question, please just go in your TC.
You have to hold two mics.
Oh, really?
Looks like we have someone.
Okay, hi. I've just got a question for Aline. I'm just wondering when you have people coming to you and they share their difficulties and they're really, you feel, I'm sure you feel for them. How do you manage and cope that?
Yeah, I mean, it's very, it's hard, obviously, because we can't hire everyone. And there is right now a tremendous demand in the displaced community and people looking for opportunities. The largest request we're still having is with Arabic, because Natakallam was born in the Middle East. And so we have a perpetual flow of Syrians, Iraqis, yeah, just unfortunately the conflict is all over the region. Trying to work with us, and we're a market-grounded solution, which means we rely on supply and demand. And so, if we're not getting more demand for language classes, we don't want to hire and give a false hope. So, it is very. I mean, so we have our team who works on recruitment and interviewing, and you have to. It is not always easy. For sure, because you interview individuals and hear their stories and you want to be able to help them. And there's just a limit to the amount of help you can give them. And I think, this is a sentiment that is shared widely by all communities in the humanitarian space. And I think, we try to provide our staff with also psychosocial support and coaching and mentoring to deal with those challenges and just the reality that we live in, and to just fall back on the fact that we can't hire everyone, and it's just you kind of start to be just living in this world, right? And my background is in human rights and journalism, so already before that I've been reading and about different human rights violations and conflicts. So it becomes so much your everyday life that you naturally build a type of immunity and protection, but it's still oppressive, right? And so you do have to find ways to also disconnect, to also, find some sort of ways to cope with it. And again, for me, the only, what keeps you going is to be like, well, I can't help everyone, but I'm helping a fraction of this community. And also creating ripple effects, because I think one of the most impactful sides of Natakalam is the ripple effects we create, right? We're talking to you all now. Maybe someone in the crowd is going to be like, oh, I know someone who loves to learn language. Oh, I know a company that needs translation services. So I'm going to tell them about this. The human side of things, and we're hearing Sofia talk about it. We're hearing Marianela talk about we're social beings. So what Natakalam does is different than just a job that you make income, for example, working behind a computer doing coding, right? Because there's a lot of coding schools that are picking up for refugees, which is wonderful and great. But I think the added value of Natakalam is this human interaction, is this voice we're giving displaced person. And what is also the biggest challenge, I would say, for anyone working on refugee issues is the scapegoating that is going on, is how we are seeing a rise in populism, blaming refugees and looking down at refugees and on refugees when refugees are the heroes. Refugees are the superheroes, and are the people who've had to leave everything, had to see such horrible things happen in their countries, see their family disappear, et cetera, et cetera. And they are heroes who should almost have a priority on support and access. And I always say that, looking at the digital realm, we have this boom in digital nomadism, right? Like everyone now since COVID is picking up their laptop and going and working from wherever, working from Bali, I know half of New York now wants to go to Bali to work. But individuals who've been forced and uprooted from their homes are forced digital nomads, right? And that's why we believe that they should also have a very strong stake in this online economy.
You have inspired me for sure today. Thank you.
Anyone have any other questions that you would like to ask our former refugee guests? No? Okay, then I have a question. So I'll go nearer to the camera. This question is for Shade, because I know she asked it during the rehearsal and I thought it was a really, really great question. So during any sort of refugee crisis or crisis in general, we see a lot of things that happen in social media, right? We get news from all sorts of channels. So I want to ask both Marianela and Sophia, what do you feel about social media, especially during the crisis and all that you're going through?
Okay, I can be the first one. Of course, my goal rule is to filter information which we're searching for, because really maybe months ago I was too tired to look at news, because I still have my father in Ukraine, so he didn't leave Kharkiv due to some reasons, and I'm asking him like, what is going on? How are you? How are you doing? And etc. So like, and I'm getting answers, but anyway, to filter or to how to say, look at verified, I would say, how to say, sorry, forgot that word, sources, sorry, sources, verified sources. And of course, to have your own brain, because don't believe everything that is written in different articles or just news. And I would say that's all, to filter, and that's all. Or to ask real people there who live there, and to ask the situation. That's all. Thank you.
I think so. Social medias are only to have fun, to enjoy it with any platform, just to have fun. Never you can believe only because it's in Facebook or in Instagram or in any page that you find. Never. You have to learn, or we have to learn, that is when I see some news, for example, in Facebook, I always see the page. I know with the page if this can be truth or not. But any page or any person that writes something or shares something, I don't open the news. I don't open because I know that can be a fake. There are too much people in the world that they want to do things properly, and there are a lot of people that they don't have nothing to do, just fight in the social medias or say fake news, and the people, I don't know the word, be loud, but it's not the truth. You don't believe in that. Never. You are young people. You have to learn.
Actually, on the one hand, I agree that maybe sometimes it might be fake, but on another hand, you can search for different useful information, because you can get information about, like, for example, you're looking for an apartment or for a flat, or you are getting something new, because we have a lot of pluses and minuses of the internet, but still, I suppose if you have your own brain, internet has more pluses than minuses, in my opinion, in my own opinion. Of course, I'm a younger generation, and my opinion is different. For example, my sister, we have only 5-year gap, but still she's already another generation. Because sometimes I don't understand her slang and how she search for how she searches something on the internet. So that's why we're different, and of course we'll have different opinions because we have different age.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does anyone else? Any last words, Marianela? No, that's fine. Okay. Maybe just like one last question for everyone, for the speakers. Like, if there's something that you can tell everyone, both online and the live. Oh, is anyone from the live? Yes. Okay. We'll have your question. Hi,
Yes,
what's your name?
hi, I'm Shahara. Hi, nice to meet all of you. So I guess my question is also an encouragement for each of you, especially Marianela and Sophia, to write down your experiences of survival as well. I was a refugee myself at 9, over 30 years ago, and sorry, I'm getting emotional. And more recently, I was helping with an organization that was trying to help people get out of Afghanistan. And I was helping all online and providing information, etc. And one of the jobs I took on was to write down a document about how to talk to refugees leaving in the moment. And I was amazed. So of course I went straight to Google. I work for a tech company. So this was Cisco doing this to help people get out, because a lot of our technology is already embedded in Afghanistan. So we were using that to help people. So I went to Google to search for documents, and there was nothing. You know, I went to UNHCR and others, basically on how to train my colleagues on what not to say to a refugee who's leaving the country, right? To your point, Marianela, no one wants to hear how bad the country you're leaving is, because it's still your home, or how lucky you are to be going somewhere else and being, you know, with nothing in another country. So that sort of thing, there was nothing. I couldn't find it. I Googled for hours, and I ended up writing a document. So I don't know whether you know of places that we could share on lists, or actually writing your own experiences in that way, how to talk to refugees, if you're helping someone, how to help them, because there are right and wrong ways, right? No one wants to feel pity, no one wants to feel those sorts of things. So yeah, I just wanted to encourage you to write down your experiences, because it can be helpful.
Thank you so much for your words. And nobody wants to hear that your country is bad, but no one wants to hear fake news about your country, because people from Ukraine that I respect a lot, or people from Afghanistan, I know how many people, but countries as Venezuela, sorry, the government kill us slowly, but constantly. You know, each day in Venezuela died 60 or 70 or 100 people from other people from Venezuela, from the government. How many people leave the country since at least 8 years ago? Every day. We are talking about 50,000 people, 20,000 people every day. That was at the beginning. I told you that our crisis is not 2 months ago or 5 years ago, has more than 20 years ago, constantly. My country is the best, of course, but it's not possible to live here in this moment, not to me. But I hope I can come back in the future.
Okay, actually, as for me, personally, it's a tough and complicated question, because I really don't know. We all have different mental health, and you don't know how this person or that person will react, and react your words and questions and your speech at all. But I remember I chatted with my group mate, and right now she's in Italy. And I remember she was so surprised when they didn't ask volunteers in Lviv and on West, at all, not in Lviv, but also on West. They didn't ask her your purpose, why. They just bought her tickets, and then of course on the train, then she went by plane, and etc. So she was so surprised because they didn't ask her questions, because imagine Kharkiv to Lviv, like for us, it took 21 hours. So we were lucky enough. It took 21 hours because we were sleeping on the floor. Yeah, and we have like, I don't know, 2 meters, like 2 meters and 1 meter. So we were on the floor. And imagine 21 hours, we are tired, we have our luggage, or we are tired. And when you ask like questions, maximum what you can, in my opinion, because I might not be right, in my opinion, are you feeling good? Are you feeling bad? Does it hurt, or does something hurt, or do you need any help from us, and so on? So don't ask like extra questions, because we all understand they are not in good shape, especially like 21 hours, because she wasn't lucky enough, because it took 34 hours from Kharkiv to Lviv. So that's why just these questions, and that's all. If they want, they will tell you, or they will ask you. By the way, of course, some people might be shy or be scared of something. You also might ask them or tell them, don't worry, all is okay, I'm here to help you. And if you have some needs or you need something, just ask me, don't be shy. And of course, like logically, you can ask them, and that's all. But I would say our way was too smooth, and thanks to my dad's acquaintance, he really helped us to cross the border between Ukraine and Poland, because it was, I would say, not possible. But yeah, we were lucky enough. That's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take one more question from the live audience.
And thank you. My name is Ben Chan. So thank you, Marianela, Sophia, Aline. Your stories about resiliency is like really inspiring. And my question to you is like, how do each of you maintain and what inspires your positivity through your challenges?
Marianela first, because I need to think.
Well, I am an optimist person. When you, or maybe in the future, study Spanish, you will learn that we have the 2 things. You can say, yo soy optimista, yo estoy optimista. And I am always, it's an attitude in life, okay? I always think and hope and work for the best. Of course, my family, the hopes I have to live in another country, that I have a job, because the best in life, of course, is to have a job, to have a place to live, to have your family. And I have all of that. I don't have $1 million or something like that, but I am okay. I work for more, of course, but I am okay. I am optimist. I think this is the best in life.
As I told you before, really, even in my mother language, it's still hard for me to answer, because I don't know, really complicated. But still, as I told you before, I suppose I'm that person who's strong, because my parents brought me out like as a strong person. And yeah, we have challenges, it's okay, but still I am young, and I'm a little bit smart, and I suppose I can handle with some challenges in my life, because yeah, I know it's bad to say, but I want to look for some advantages of this war. I am in a new country, because when I was in Ukraine, I burned out. So I had a burnout, and it wasn't good. But after this, I understand, just like I needed to travel to another country or something like this. but I'm here and I have my goals and I know how to achieve them and what I need to do for this. So maybe my thoughts are I need to challenge myself. So why not? Anyway, I will die maybe like in 30, 40, 50, 60 years, but still I have time because I'm young, I have energy, I'm open for new things and so on. So why not? And maybe just I want to challenge myself. That's the answer.
I want to say sorry. The answer to him, I remember something. You don't care, or I don't care what life put in front of my face, any problem. I will fight with it. And I will do it because I am a strong woman. And you learn in your life, you learn to be stronger each time. Life teach you. And I know I can do it.
And we continue looking forward to hearing from your adventures. And we have one more, Aline.
Thank you. It was Ben, right? Thank you. Yeah, no, I think for me, I touched on it a bit, what keeps me optimistic, what keeps me positive. I don't know if I would say I'm very optimistic in complete honesty, given, the truth is, the world is going through a tough time. And, I really hope that with our work, we can inspire everyone to take action, kind of similar to what Sophia was saying, that we should all find a way to relate to everyone else and to build bridges and not build walls. And, I think what keeps us going is seeing, and what keeps me optimistic in the work I'm doing is the direct impact that we're able to have on individuals like Marianela and Sophia. It's the momentum we get from sessions like these, from, when we wrote to Brain Juice and we told them, do you want to do another Refugee Voices session with us? And when they write back and say, yes, that's a moment of optimism. That's exciting for us. That gives us hope, that keeps us going. And that's frankly, what we hold on to. So and everyone can actually bring change, right? It's at our fingertips. There's so much we can do to make an impact today. The world is turning towards being more responsible in business, thankfully. So I think that sometimes you can be surprised at how much impact you can have by just making different choices on, like for anyone learning a language, we have a variety of languages we offer so people can choose to work with Natakallam instead of another classic organization that might not have the same depth of impact, for example. Also, when we reach out to organizations and we inspire them and convince them to work with us, right? Those are moments of optimism that keep us going.
Keep inspiring us. Keep inspiring us, ladies.
And with that, unfortunately, we have to come to the end of the panel discussion. Thanks again to Marianela, to Aline, and Sophia for sharing your stories with us. A round of applause, everyone, for our panel. Oh, we can't hear from our, but we see you guys clapping. Sharifa?
Okay.
Oh, sorry. For the online audience, we'd love for you to stick around because we're giving away a sponsored session with an Atap partner. So stick around. Sharifa?
Okay, and for the audience in Singapore, we will now move on to the next segment of the evening. So that's where everyone will be divided into groups. And yeah, I will see all of you in a bit.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great
Thanks,
rest of the program. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.